Hi, let us understand how a container can get attached to multiple network and what will be the behavior of the configuration files. Let me go ahead and create a custom network. So I'll be creating a custom network, the name my multinet, and I will use this specific subnet. So within this, I'm going to create a couple of containers. Let me go ahead and name the container as Nginx multi, and it will have the IP address 10.2.0.2 because the gateway, it will get the IP address as 2.0.1. The same way I will be creating another container in the name of redis-multi, and that will get the IP address as 3 and this will get the IP address as 2. So let's go ahead and create them and check the actual IP address getting allocated. So I'm creating a custom network with the subnet 10.2.0.0 with the mask as 16. That means it can have an IP address of 255 multiplied by 255. It's created. Now let me go ahead and create a couple of containers. So I'm going to create a container, docker container run -d, and this is the name that I have provided, and it's going to get attached to the custom network my-multi.net. The same way, let me go ahead and create another container in the name of redis_multi. Now let me go ahead and inspect the container with the name Nginx-multi. So that got the IP address 0.2. So Nginx got 0.2. The same way, let me go ahead and inspect redis-multi. So this got the IP address 0.3. Now I'm going to attach the containers to different network. Let me go ahead and do them. This Nginx multi, I am going to attach it to this particular networking namespace, and Redis multi, I will be attaching it to this specific networking namespace. So what happens? This particular my network will assign another IP address by creating another Ethernet adapter. So most likely it may assign this specific IP address .04, and this particular network namespace will attach an IP address, most likely say 3. By default, it's going to assign the IP address sequentially. In case if I had not created any other container in that specific networking namespace, most likely this may happen. Let me go ahead and do them and verify. I'm going to attach Nginx multi to my network 1, and I'm going to attach Redis multi to my private net. Now let me do the Nginx multi if config. It should have two Ethernet adapters, ETH0 that should have the IP address 2.0.2 and ETH1 that will have the IP address 0.4, 19.0.4, and the earlier IP address 0.2 it's existing. Let me go ahead and do the if config for Redis multi as well. So that should have the IP address 10.2.0.3 from this specific network and 10.1.0.3 from my private net. Now, as we discussed, this got the IP address 10.2.0.3 and 10.1.0.3. So this particular container can communicate between the Redis and Nginx, and the Redis multi can communicate with Redis customer subnet. But otherwise, Redis multi cannot communicate with Redis or Nginx, and Nginx multi cannot communicate with Redis custom subnet. Let's go ahead and explore the IP route command that will provide a lot more additional valuable information now as we have attached multiple network to the container. So this is going to have the details on what is the default Ethernet adapter. In this case, ETH0 is the default adapter, and for this particular range of subnet, it's going to use this as the source, and for this range of IP address, it's going to use this as the source. The corresponding Ethernet adapter will be used. I can check the details about this individual Ethernet adapters using the command IP addr show under the Ethernet adapter. The same way I can get the details about Ethernet adapter 1 as well. If I check the resolve.config, it's going to have the same name, server 127.0.0.11, and hostname will have the details on both the IP address, mapping it to the same host name. That means one host is having multiple Ethernet adapter and multiple IP address, and accordingly it will be in a position to communicate. Let's go ahead and ping Nginx from Nginx multi and see what's going to happen. So as per the diagram, it should be in a position to communicate because both are assigned to the common network. Now let me go ahead and ping Redis cust subnet, this particular container, from Nginx multi. It cannot because we don't have any common network namespace between these two containers. Let me go ahead and execute the command. It cannot find the address. Now let's go ahead and ping Redis cust subnet from this Redis multi. It should be in a position to ping. Now the same way, let me go ahead and ping Nginx from Redis multi ping. It cannot because it doesn't have the route as well as it doesn't have the common networking namespace. From Redis multi, it cannot ping either Nginx or Redis because it will not have the route. We can check the details of this using the route command as well. So it will have the details on how it should get routed. So in a quick summary, we had seen how I can attach a container to multiple networking namespace and what will be its effect. And this is what we will be following in most of the applications, where I will be segregating what component of an application can communicate with what other component, and mostly I will be having a common networking so that it can connect multiple containers that needs to communicate. We will be in a position to explore the containers getting attached to multiple network while seeing the details about Docker Compose, as well as we can have the similar demo as a part of Docker Swarm, where I will be in a position to create the containers getting attached to multiple network. This is where the security as well as the abstraction of the microservices comes into picture, where I can have all the microservices as a part of the front end not communicating with the database at the back end, and the communication will be happening through the intermediate layer, where I can have a dedicated network like my-multi-net, which will facilitate the communication between these two microservices, and that will provide more security for the microservices.